Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. So in this video I'm going to talk about how to know if you're carrying a piece of someone else's soul. So if you've watched the video I did on narcissists want to be you, soul swapping, and projection, you sort of heard me talk about how during abuse people can project pieces of themselves onto you so that you end up carrying this burden that doesn't actually belong to you, and this is pieces of their soul. So how to know if you're carrying a piece of their soul is if you've undergone any kind of abuse or trauma, chances are you're carrying a piece of that person's soul. Because when they were telling you that you're a bad person and that, you know, you meant to do this evil thing and you're the reason they have to abuse you and that type of thing, that's them trying to like egg open your energy field so they can project that piece of shame or guilt they feel onto you. And this can be any emotion. It doesn't need to be shame or guilt, but those are the two where, like, after you've experienced abuse, you might feel like really ashamed or really guilty. And it doesn't make, when you think about it, it's like, why would you feel guilty? And, you know, what psychologists might tell you, or other people that do this kind of thing might tell you, is like, oh, you're feeling guilty because you think the abuse was your fault. Well, sure, that may be true, but in my experience, you feel guilty because when this person is abusing you, you're absorbing the piece of their soul that feels guilty. That's why they continue to abuse you, because you've now absorbed that piece of the guilt they were feeling, which is a part of their soul. So now you carry around this feeling of feeling guilty, and then you're like, oh, I feel so guilty. Like, maybe the abuse kind of was my fault. Maybe I'll just also become abusive because I feel this intense guilt. So maybe I deserved it, that kind of energy. So that's a good way to know you're carrying a piece of someone else's soul. Another way to know is if you feel an intense obsession or sort of pull towards another person, and you're, constantly thinking about them, wondering about them, wanting to know more about them, wanting to like sort of integrate into their life almost, or at least that's how you feel, like obsessively, and you can't really understand why. It doesn't really seem logical. It might even seem unhealthy, but this obsession you have with another person could indicate, unless you're like a creepy stalker or something, it could indicate that you're carrying a piece of their soul. So if there's someone that you're just like really, really interested in and kind of like obsessing over, it could be anyone. It could be a friend. It could be a teacher, a boss, a coworker, even a celebrity. It could literally be anyone. But if you feel this like obsessive sort of feeling about them, it could be because you're carrying a piece of their soul, either from this life or a past life. So if your soul has lived many lives here, chances are you're carrying a lot of pieces of other people's energy or their soul, and they're probably carrying a lot of yours as well. So in the next video, I'll sort of go into how to know if someone you've met is carrying pieces of your soul. This video is more about how to know if you're carrying pieces of someone else's soul. So if we're just confining it to this life, it'd be all the things I said before. Could be the obsession, these intense feelings that are reoccurring and they don't seem to resolve, like such as shame or guilt. If you're the person being abused, then there's no reason for you to feel shame or guilt. Those are the feelings of the abuser and the pieces of their soul that they've projected onto you. And like I said, this could literally be anyone. They didn't have to abuse you in this life or be cruel in this life for you to still be carrying pieces of their soul from another life. So that would be sort of like the obsession. And like a lot of the times, the people that we've known in past lives, we will meet in this life to sort of clear the karma, clear the past, and in that way, you give them back the burden of their soul, and they give you back the light and energy of your soul that they probably stole from you, and the heaviness and burden that they probably projected onto you. So that would be how to know if you're carrying pieces from someone else's soul. I hope that was helpful. I'm always interested to hear what you think below. And the next video I'm going to make is going to be about how to know if you're carrying, how to know if someone you've met is carrying pieces of your soul. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.